This lesson is on factoring using what we call the rooftop method. Sometimes we call this splitting the middle term. This rooftop method is helpful when A is not 1. In this example, A is 4, and we notice it's not a common factor for all the terms, so it's not going to factor out. This is when splitting the middle term, or the rooftop method, is helpful. So here's what we do. We multiply the outside term, so A times C. 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. Then we take the negative 60 and we figure out what factors of negative 60 add to give you negative 4. So we have 1 and 60. I'm sorry, I have a difference of negative 4. 2 and 30. 3 and 20. 4 and 15. 5 and 12. 6 and 10. 6 and 10 have a difference of 4. So it's going to be, since this is negative 60, we have positive 6 and negative 10. That's what's going to give us negative 4. If only one of our terms here is negative, we want it to be the one we list first. And here's what I mean. We're going to first write down 4x squared. Then we're going to write negative 10x plus 6x. We're splitting negative 4x into two terms. So negative 10x plus 6x, and then we're going to write down our minus 15. We want to put this negative term first because when it's here, it's a little bit messier, and the next one we'll do one like that. Now we group the first two terms and the last two terms. There needs to be a plus sign in the middle. In the first set of parentheses, we look for what they have in common. 4x squared and 10x have 2x in common, so we factor out the 2x, leaving us with 2x minus 5. Our second one, they have a 3 in common. We're going to factor out that positive 3, leaving us with a 2x minus 5. You'll notice when you're doing this, the two sets of parentheses should be the same. If they're not the same, we know that we did something wrong and we need to go back to the beginning and check our work. So we're going to factor out that 2x minus 5. So once we factor it out, we're left with a 2x plus 3. If one of them doesn't have a common factor, like this one had a common factor of 3. If they don't have a common factor, sometimes we just put a 1 out in front of it to remember that this is never going to be plus 0. It's always got to be plus something. Okay, one more. On this one, we have 3x squared minus 19x plus 6. 3 is not a common factor, so we know this is a good one for the rooftop method. 3 times 6 is 18. We know the signs are going to be the same, and we want to get negative 19. So 1 and 18 is going to give us 19, but they're both going to need to be negative. So we have 3x squared minus 1x, which is x, minus 18x plus 6. On this one, we had to put a minus here since they were both minus. What that causes is when we group, we're going to group the first two, but we can't group around the parentheses like this. We can't group after negative, or that would make negative. So we must change this to plus negative, and then we group in between those two signs. In the first one, we see we have a common factor of x. So if we factor out the x, we have 3x minus, we're dividing, so x is 1. In this one, we have a 3 in common, but if the first term is negative, we have to factor out a negative. So we're going to factor out a negative 3, leaving us we're going to factor out a negative 6, leaving us 3x. 6 divided by negative 6 is negative 1. So see, we have that common factor of 3x minus 1. 3x minus times x minus 6. That's a quick review of the rooftop method.